Welcome to this episode of Voices of Fostering. Today, I'm joined by two of our lovely carers who have transferred to the National Fostering Group. And we're really looking forward to hearing about their story and why they chose to do that. So welcome, Lloyd and Mary. Hi, guys.
Hi there, thank you.
Hello. So you guys haven't been fostering for too long. It's just over a year now, isn't it? Since April 2024. But it was in February that you decided to come to the National Fostering Group. But firstly, what was it that attracted you to fostering? Why did you decide to do it?
I've been wanting to foster for over 25 years now. When I was in Ireland, I was teaching in a disadvantaged area, and a lot of the children were neglected, and obviously, it was quite obvious with their physical appearance. And I always felt I should be doing more, but it was only last year really that I felt I was in a position to properly do it. So I asked Lloyd if he, thought fostering was a good idea, and he thought I was joking. He thought we were too old. So that was the first question we asked: are we too old? And they said no. So we started our fostering journey September 2023, and here we are today.
Because that's the thing, isn't it, Mary? It might be something that people have thought about for a long time, but it's not always the right time, is it? You're waiting for the sort of stars to align and for it to feel like the right time. So what were your careers before fostering?
So for me, I was Air Force.
Oh, wow.
I was in the Air Force for 10 years. Went all over the world with them. Some places are better than others. And from the Air Force, I went offshore. So I was on the oil rigs.
Yeah.
Initially as a radio operator, and then into the logistics and the geo side of it. So that was quite good. I enjoyed that.
And what about yourself, Mary? What was your career?
I did loads of different things, quite honestly, but
Yeah.
the one I enjoyed most was the teaching. I was teaching IT in Ireland, but when I came to Scotland, I just went for sort of jobs like, waitressing, stuff like that. And eventually in 2021, I opened up my own gardening business due to demand locally, and I've been doing that since.
Oh, wow. So you still do that alongside fostering now?
I thought I could, but actually at the moment I don't have the time. So I did explain to all my customers that there possibly would be a gap, and feel free to go get somebody else. But I thought I might be able to put it in maybe in September.
Okay. So Mary, you said that fostering was something that you thought about for many years, and then you put the idea to Lloyd. So how did that go, those conversations?
Well, I thought she was actually joking, because she had said in the past that when she was teaching, she had an affinity with the children, and basically she wanted to take them all home.
Yeah.
She was reminded by the headmistress that you can't do that. They're not yours. You can't take them home. So yeah, it didn't take too long. It was a prolonged conversation.
Mm-hmm.
She said that she was serious, and could look into it. And my first reaction was, well, okay, but we're too old. I'm 60, and Mary's 21 with a few months added on. So seriously thought that say thanks, but no thanks. But they accented strangely, and we thought, okay, we'll go for it.
Yeah. So as you say, you thought you were too old, and you're absolutely not. What were some of the other reservations that you had? Did you have any other worries that you sort of put to them and said, oh, well, we can't do it because of this or that? Can you remember?
No, I think that was the main
That was the
worry.
main one. Yeah.
I don't think we actually had, because we're quite stable in everything around us, and we were in a very, very good position financially and every other way. So we were in a position to offer children a home. We've well, it's a 4-bedroom house, but one of the rooms is an office now. So
Well, it was my office.
yeah, it was that's what he's working from home during the pandemic. But we had at least 2 bedrooms available. So, we didn't have any other friends.
Well, there's the only other concern I had was we've been talking about trying over to Portugal, and we thought, well, can't really do that with foster children. But what they end up doing is it's called interim, whereby we can take them for up to 2 years. So it wasn't going to be, weren't going to have to change our world in that sense, but it's been put way, way in the future now.
Yeah.
And basically, I'm not dictator, but don't tell her.
And I think that's important to note, isn't it? That, there is flexibility there. You can talk to your agency and, describe what your life's like and how things have to fit in. And, so they're all things that can be addressed, aren't they? So
Yes.
you started fostering just over a year ago with a different agency. So what led you to transfer to the National Fostering Group?
I think one of the things was that the other agency we were with was quite small and it wasn't very established up in where we are. So we found that there's another foster carer that we know locally, and she was saying that National Fostering Group were very well established. She told us about everything they had for support, and it sounded like we needed more support than we were able to get. So we transferred. But that was probably literally the only reason that we transferred, is because we just felt that the support wasn't there just yet because the other agency was that bit smaller.
And the girl that we did foster, she was a level 3 autistic, and we did need a lot of support. We would never dealt with an autistic child, well, level 3, 24/7. We have a granddaughter that's level 3. And yet we meet her and sort of play with her 2-3 hours and hand her back to mum. It's a whole different kettle of fish when looking after her for 24 hours. Mary found out that, this young lady decided that she won't get in the car. And this lasted quite some time. We get into a car seat. We need a hell of a lot of support. The agency just couldn't give it to us. They tried, but it just wasn't available locally.
Okay. So we talk a lot about what the process is like for new carers, joining the National Fostering Group, doing the assessment. But what's the process like for transferring from another agency to NFG? Can you tell us what that was like?
I think the initial process is very intense. It's very intrusive. It's a bit daunting because you have to go right back into your own past birth. Basically, but when you transfer, all the hard work is done. So you've already done all of the work that you need to, but you just have to transfer it to the next agency. So transferring is actually a lot easier.
Right. So you don't have to do the assessment again then?
Oh, you do? You go through exactly the same process.
Right. Okay.
But you have all the information there from your previous fostering agency.
Yeah.
So just, I won't say copy and paste, that's a bit flippant, but it's taken over. They go through it and they make their assessments on that. They come and see you just as many times. Now, Leanne, our assessor, she's in the house quite a lot, asking all the same questions as the previous crowd, but because we've got it all in place, it went a lot smoother, a lot quicker. Because we knew what to expect.
Yeah, so since you've been with the National Fostering Group now, what's your experience with them been like?
Excellent. We quite honestly, we were sort of doubting our ability as carers to begin with when we were with the other agency, and we weren't 100% sure then. So we lost a bit of confidence in our ability to care. So when we transferred, of course, it was another opportunity for us to see if it was for us, and we're absolutely delighted with everything that's happened since February. So yes, it's been a fantastic journey with National Fostering Group since we've been with them.
So tell us about the children and young people that you've cared for so far then, and what the circumstances around them have been.
Well, like Lloyd was saying, the first girl, she had a lot of she needed a lot of support.
Yeah.
So that was a very difficult situation for all of us to deal with, because we didn't feel we had the support that we needed. So we had her for 4 months with us, and then we had to give up the placement due to the intensity of the placement. But at that point, we had already decided that we were going to change
Yeah.
to NFG. And when we passed in February, I think we were only about a week and a half, and we got a phone call, and we now have 2 absolutely adorable sisters with us. They're 8 and 10, and they've just brought so much life into the house, literally. So
We can't give you their names, but
Oh,
they're
yeah, of
Lila and
course.
Stitch.
Lila and Stitch, yeah.
That's what you call them.
Yeah. But since February, these youngsters have been with us, and it's just been a wonderful journey.
Oh.
Obviously we have challenging times that but nothing that's not manageable. And
Yeah.
we like that we do have an awful lot more support. We haven't actually needed it really, but we know it's there, and I think
Yeah.
that makes a big
But
difference.
Mary got a phone call. I was actually at work. Mary got a phone call saying, we've got 2 young girls that are looking for an emergency placement. Could you take them tomorrow? And Mary registered it to me. And with the previous company, because they were not, she wasn't an emergency placement as such. We had their profiles to read and read the pros and cons. So with these 2, was we don't know anything about them other than their names and their age.
Yeah.
Okay, emergency for a week. Yeah, fine, we'll go for it. And they brought around the next day. I was at work again. Came home from work, and hello, I'm Lilu. And hello, and that was it.
I'm
And,
Stitch.
Stitch.
So yeah, it was very fast, and it was quite daunting the first day or 2, because obviously it just happened.
Yeah.
You were just 1 minute there was nobody here, and the next minute there was 2 youngsters with us. So, but yes, it's been absolutely.
Because I think that it's been a great thing for the girls that Lisa and who was your Lord, sorry, I can't remember her name, that do the matching.
Yeah.
Whereas, we knew nothing about these girls, but they looked at them, looked at us, and thought, they'd be a good match. And they did a sterling job. It's been brilliant to run.
Yeah.
I think quite honestly, that's what it does come down to, is the matching process. If it's good, everybody benefits from it. It means we all benefit from the match being a good match.
Yeah, because I think it is important to know that it isn't just random, is it? Like they really do think about, is this child or young person going to be suitable for this home and for these carers? So you felt that your matching process was really good.
Well, they've proved to be brilliant so far.
Yeah. We just were absolutely astonished at how good the matching process was, really. So yes, we're very, very happy with we're very happy with the placement we have at the moment. Definitely.
And for anyone who's not experienced it, Lloyd, can you just describe the feelings that you go through when you're waiting for, new children to come and live with you? Like, how does that feel?
Fear. All right.
Anything else?
Yeah. Put me right back on a plane, so nasty. Yeah, fine. It was it's excitement, and it was a case of we don't know what again. We've not seen the girls, not saw the profile of the girls. We were excited to get it, and it's worked out extremely well.
Oh, God. And Mary, you're now living out your lifelong dream, really. For 20 odd years, you wanted to be a foster carer. It was never the right time. It is now. How does it feel to be doing this role that you've always wanted to do?
It feels fantastic to have finally achieved it. And I feel sometimes I feel myself I'm too old, but for the most part, it's just absolutely amazing. And because it's been such a dream for such a long time, it feels like I've finally achieved something that has meant so much to me for such a long time. So
Yeah.
it's absolutely amazing. And thankfully, I've got this fantastic man with me to share it.
Crazy.
But yeah, I think the support, Lloyd's support as well, has made the difference. It has made this, the fostering journey something that I can do with confidence.
Yeah. And what do you see for your future, guys? How long do you see yourselves doing this for?
We honestly, we discussed this, but we actually don't know. We haven't even thought beyond not doing it at the moment.
Yeah.
So I think for our foreseeable future, this is something we
Just have to continue until such time as legs give in and
Yeah.
we
Yeah, I do it.
possibly can't do it. So it has changed the way we see our future. We were very busy trying to get away from here, but now we're very busy trying to stay and do the fostering. So it's changed an awful lot about how we see things. So
as we said, we're looking at returning to Portugal.
Yeah.
Our world's changed now.
Yeah. Might put that off for a bit.
Yeah, I'm happy to do so as well.
Yeah. So for anyone listening or watching, considering being a foster carer, what advice would you give them?
I think from my point of view, don't wait so long. Obviously, you do have to feel it's the right time, but at the same time, don't let too many obstacles stop you, because the fostering journey in itself, you get so much support with it and so much backup from the people around you. But it's something you can do. I suppose it's just don't wait.
Just do it. Yeah, the assessor. You go through the assessment. They are intrusive. They've got to be, because you're looking after young
got
people's
to
life.
for a reason. Yeah.
And so, as long as you're honest, and you will learn about yourself.
Mm.
And I learned about Mary as well.
Yeah, we actually.
I would have still married her, but I learned a lot.
You know what? A lot of people say that it's quite a bonding experience in your relationship, because you learn a lot about yourselves and each other that you maybe weren't aware of before.
I suppose that is one of the things that the journey just to get to fostering is it's an eye opener. For, as Lloyd said, we learned a lot about ourselves and each other that we'd never ever have learned if we hadn't done the fostering journey.
But if you are thinking of doing it, take the first step tomorrow. It's just a phone call or a click on a keyboard.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do
Reach out.
Do the first steps. Take you from there. See what transpires after you do that, and take the next step. You'll pull out at any time, but I think that once you start it, you'll realize, we can do this.
Yeah.
Oh, well, Lloyd and Mary, thank you so much for sharing your stories with us today. I've really, really enjoyed it. We really appreciate it. And best of luck with the future, whether it is here in the UK, fostering lots of children, young people, or in Portugal, whatever happens, best of luck and take care.
All right, great. Thanks very much.
Thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Voices of Fostering. If you'd like to find out more, head online and search National Fostering Group and make this the year you foster.